So are you a real estate agent that's struggling? You feel like that you're working really hard and yet you can't get your production above a certain point. Well, there's two things that we're going to talk about today that you have to learn to manage, okay? Number one, you have to learn to manage your time, okay? And secondly, you have to learn to manage your emotions. It's those two things together that are going to determine how high you can go in production. First of all, look at this. Are you working or are you just at work? There's a big difference between working and being at work. I've been coaching real estate agents, guys, for 29 years. And I have seen the difference in the work habits of those agents that are doing, say, 100 transactions a year from those agents who are doing less. I mean, listen, if I was really honest with you, if you said, Gordon, how much production do I have to be doing before you would consider me a top producer? I would tell you, you got to be doing 100 transactions a year or more, okay? And here's the crazy thing, and some of you are going to probably want to send me a nasty email. Please don't, okay? Just trust me on this. 100 transactions a year is easier to do than 25, okay? 100 is easier than 25. How? Well, first of all, when you're doing 100 transactions a year, you're managing your time well. When you get to work, you already have a structured schedule, okay? Versus somebody who's doing 25 deals a year, they're reactive, okay? They are jumping from task to task. We call that firefighter management. You're just going to the hottest flame, okay? You're not controlling your day. Somebody who's doing 100 transactions a year, guys, they're controlling their day. They're working, they're prospecting, they're doing lead follow-up, they're pre-qualifying, they're making presentations to buyers and sellers. They are on the clock doing things that lead directly to income. Evaluate your day. Are you doing things that lead directly to income, or are you spending a lot of time wasted? There's an excellent exercise you guys can do called the time versus motion study. It's a pain in the neck, but it's really, really worth it if you're willing to be honest with yourself. Get yourself a timeline for the day and do this for 3 days where you track every hour. On the hour, you go back and you write down everything you did for the previous hour. Do that throughout the entire day. Okay, at the end of 3 days, if you're with a coach, like myself, Steve, Sydney, with Watson Powers, send it to us. We'll evaluate it. If you're not, take a look at it and see, okay, how much time am I really spending on activities that lead to income, or am I wasting a lot of time? I got a feeling you're going to find the second one to be true. So are you working versus at work? Secondly, income versus non-income activities. You could have 2 sales pending and literally spend 40, 50 hours a week working on those 2 sales and be able to justify it. I'm doing this and this has to be done. I'm doing that and that has to be done. But listen, we all know that you're wasting time. It's a term that we use called creative avoidance. You're creatively avoiding the activities that are going to lead you to income. Now, what causes this? Well, over here. It's your emotions. You get to a point when you don't manage your time and you don't manage your emotions well, you get overloaded real quick. See, ask yourself this question: what is my capacity? How many listings can I handle at one time? How many listings can I take? How many pendings can I deal with at one time before my mind just wants to blow? Let me tell you a secret, guys. If you are not feeling somewhat out of control, you're not growing. Your goal is to get yourself in a position where you kind of feel out of control. Now, I'm not saying completely chaos, but you should always feel a little bit out of control. There's a great quote from Mario Andretti, the famous race car driver, that says, if everything is under control, you're not going fast enough. If you want to grow your business, if you guys want to get there where you're doing 100, 150, 200 transactions a year, then listen to these words I'm sharing with you today. You've got to get yourself to a point where you're pushing yourself and you're somewhat out of control. Human nature says when I start to feel out of control, I want to gather myself. I want to get myself back under control, which means I'm going to start to back down. Whether I do it consciously or not, I'm going to start to back down in my production. I'm going to start to back down on the activities that I'm doing that are leading to income because I'm feeling out of control. Don't do it, guys. When you get to that point, that's one of the benefits of hiring a coach like myself or Steve, is we're going to recognize when you get to that point and we're going to push you beyond it. We're going to say, listen, I know how you're feeling and I know what you're feeling, and this is a good thing. You are at a threshold right now that you have got to push through. You've got to get yourself to the point where what feels out of control will quickly feel in control, and then you'll take yourself up to that next level. But you've got to learn to manage your emotions. When you are not managing your emotions properly, it's going to lead to poor decisions. It's exhausting. Okay, you're going to feel tired at the end of the day when you're dealing with a lot of emotion. It's very limiting on your production, and it's going to quickly throw you into overwhelm. How much business can you honestly handle? Some of you are watching this video right now saying, Gordon, I would love to do 100, 150, 200 transactions a year. And yet, if I was to put that amount of business on you, it would be one of the worst things that I could do because you couldn't mentally or physically handle it. You would just blow up because you're not managing your time. You're not working while you're at work. You're not focusing on the right activities, and you don't have your day structured. See, you guys should have a schedule every day of what you do. Think about it in a very simple way. Break your day up into 3 parts. You have your morning segment, that's part 1, and that starts from the time you get out of bed until lunchtime. Everything you do during this time is designed to support you booking yourself on appointments. You're creating business. That even means exercising. You're exercising in the morning because you want to feel good. You want to get your energy level up. It's what you're reading, it's what you're watching, it's what you're doing. Make sure that everything you're involved in the mornings is supporting your mindset mentally and supporting you physically so that you can go out there and get yourself booked on appointments. That's the first segment. Then from noon until, let's just say, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, that time is for you to go on appointments. If you're not going on appointments, I highly recommend that you get out and preview property during that time of the day. Okay, can you prospect during that time? Of course you can. Of course you can. It's typically not as productive in the middle of the day, but it can be. But by previewing property, what that does is that helps to open up your mind too and allow you to do more business. It's crazy. If you haven't previewed property, start. Okay? Try to keep your appointments in the afternoon if you can. Then you've got that evening time, which is the 3rd segment of the day, that evening time where you can come back and reattempt the leads that you couldn't reach earlier in the morning. You know, let's say maybe there's some expireds that you were trying to get a hold of and you weren't able to get a hold of, or FSBOs or past clients or lead follow-ups. So you go back and you reattempt those in the evenings. Now, I'm not saying you have to spend hours and hours. You may choose to do that, but quite honestly, you'd be amazed at what you can do when you're well organized. You'd be amazed at what you can do in 30 minutes. Okay, so break your day up into thirds, morning, afternoon, and evening. Be structured. People that are doing that high production, they're structured. They're not reactive. Okay? So in summary, you want to grow your business. Listen to me very carefully, guys. Steve Powers and myself, we can help you do this. We have led thousands of people to 7-figure incomes. We know the process. There's an old Chinese proverb that says, if you want to know the way up the mountain, talk to the man that goes back and forth every day. Steve and I go back and forth with our clients every day, identifying what they need to do to grow their business, helping them to realize what stage of the business they're at so that they know what to expect and what to do next. So Manage your time. Manage your emotions. And you'll take your business to the next level. I hope this is helpful to you. If it is, click on the link below. And listen, guys, please, if you like what you heard today, share it. Hit the share button right now and share this with your friends. Let's spread the word, okay? Because Steve Powers, Gordon Watson, myself, we're here to help you guys grow your business. If there's anything that we can do for you, we're here for you. Again, share our message. Click on here and get a free coaching call. We'll be glad to talk with you about where you're at in your business, where you're at when it comes to your time and emotions, and what we can do to help you to finally get to that next level that you so desperately want to get to. Thanks for taking the time to watch. I'm Gordon Watson. Talk to you soon.